Everyone. So here I want to discuss the Amazon interview question. It was asked to my friend in his fourth round, in his bar raiser round. Okay. So basically the question was like you have given a rooted tree. You have to find total number of nodes with even value of their grandparent. Okay. So this is the given tree, let's say, and this is the given tree. So what is grandparent? I will clear it. Like this is the red pointer is like the grandparent to it. Like from this node, the three node where the node with value 3 is its grandparent. The node with value 5, like it's its parent node. This is its parent node. Like you would get it like it is the tree structure, and this is the main root. Okay. So in this way we have to answer for all. So for this question like there was also follow up like but this for this one the answer is like let's say there is only one node with there are two nodes with even grandparent. You can see this 12 and 13, its grandparent value is 2. So for answer for this is 2. Okay. Now, how would you solve this? You could solve this in a recursive manner as you do in normal DFS. I will show you the code. How could you do it? Let's say. So, this is the DFS here. This is the DFS. So, I pass normally you pass the value of parent. Here I also pass the value of grandparent. And so when you say DFS of C comma X comma P, here for child P will be its grandparent, right? Correct. So here I am incrementing the answer. So in this simple way you could solve this question for the grandparent. But there was also the follow-up version of it. The follow-up was instead of grandparent, answer for it kth ancestor. So what does kth ancestor means? Like if I say one ancestor is his parent. If I say two ancestor is grandparent, and so on. Like you have to answer for kth ancestor. But if you see in my code, uh, I could not pass like infinite values like p, gp, and all that stuff in this. So we have to modify it, right? Correct. Okay. So I will discuss three methods to solve this question. So first method is like binary lifting, and I will beforehand explaining this, I will pretell the complexity of it. Its complexity will be n log k in total for the kth ancestor. Okay, because for every node by binary lifting we are like calculating the complexity. Okay, now I will explain in short like what is binary lifting. So let's say you have given a question, uh, you have a number line and you have to jump from 3 to 10 with minimum number of jumps, and you can only jumps in power of 2, right? So how would you do that? So you could convert the question to like basically let's say 10 minus 3 is equal to 7 and represent 7 in binary. So binary it could say like 4 plus 2 plus 1, right? Right. So now we could jump similarly, like we could do like 3 plus 1 4, and 4 plus 2 6, and 6 plus 4 10. Or we could jump like a first 4, like 3 plus 4 7, 7 plus 2 9, and 9 plus 1 10. Okay, so in this way in Atmos log k jumps we could jump a k difference of height, right? Similarly on tree we jump, if now we know that like, and how we will know that, how is the like so once you know this is the concept of binary lifting, and we do the same thing on trees. What we do is like we jump on the childs, we jump on parents, sorry, we jump on we store the 2 raised to the ith power of parent, 2 raised to ith parent basically. So like you know that like parent of parent is like grandparent. Similarly, mathematically 2 raised to the power ith parent of the 2 raised to the power ith parent is basically 2 raised to I plus 1th parent. So now you get that like if we know the 2 raised to the power ith parent of each node for I is equal to 0 of max, like it will be like at most 20 values, right? Because like 2 raised to 20 will be like around 10 raised to 6 something, correct? So we don't need more than that. So only, so for n into 20 values we could find the kth ancestor. Hence I said it's log k complexity. When I said like n log k, it's basically same thing. So we will find the kth ancestor by this, and we will check if it's even or odd and add the increment our answer, correct? This was the method. I will explain it again. So basically binary lifting is the concept where you jump in powers of 2, correct? And when we jump in powers of 2, so there are like at most log n steps, so that's why it's useful. So in n log k we could find the kth ancestor, correct? And this is the method, like I will also link the blog where I have explained the binary lifting concept very clearly with the code, so it would be more helpful to you. Okay, so now let's jump to the second method. So if you know the Euler tour, so Euler tour is basically what we do in Euler tour. We I will explain it by code. So this is the tour code, and here DFS tour. Okay, so in this DFS tour code, what we do is like when we enter the node, we increment the timer and we store it here. It is more like a timer plus plus. Okay, and when we do this, we store it here, and when it get out of the recursion, so we also store that time. So how will be the tree look like? How will be the values of in time and out time look like? So wait a second. Okay, so the tree will look like this. I have shown you the code like of Euler tour. So basically now you could see that the grandparent values, like parent values, the whatever childs the parent is covering is continuous. You could see that like it's 1 to 11, correct? And see the out timings of this, it's 5, 8 and 11, correct? So uh, after observing this we could apply two pointer on this, and now it's a 4, 5, 7, 8, 10, 11, correct? Now this is also continuous. So and from this you could see that if it's if the node is ancestor of any node, so it's in time, let's say A is ancestor of B, correct? Let's assume that. So from this concept we can say that in time of A is less than equal to in time of B, and we could say that it's less than, basically not less than equal to. Okay, and out of A is basically greater than or equal to out of B, correct? In this way, if these both conditions satisfy, we could say that A is ancestor of B. And now if we store all the in all the nodes in level wise order, let's say this is level 1, this is level 2, and this is level 3. If we store in level wise order, So if I work on 1 and 3 for the difference height of 2, let's say k value is given to me as 2. So what I could do is like I could apply 2 pointer on this um, until and unless all the values, let's say k is equal to 1 here, it will be more better. K would be k is equal to 1 would be more better, because like I could show you like how 2 pointer works. So now you could see that like 3 to 4 and 4 to 5, see the end here, it's 5 for both the nodes. And when we start from 3, when we start from 4 5, both value are less than equal to 5, correct? And here the end node is 8 and here it's 7 and 8. So for by this we could apply 2 pointer on this, and we could get the value of kth parent for each nodes in level order. I will show you how this works basically, so it will be more clear. So what I did was like you could see that like first I made the level order lists for all. I traverse recursively and DFS of height. Okay. For this, I pass the h equal to 0, and for child nodes, I maintain like h plus 1. So in heights of h, you will get all the nodes in level order. So now this is the level order calculation. Like I made the list here, but how would you calculate how many nodes are there whose kth parent is even? So you could see that like if I go like this, I have given the adjacency list, like let's say we have given the adjacency list of graph, or here it is tree. Okay, so I have also given the value of k, and here I maintain variable answer. Here I am applying 2 pointer here. You could see, as I said you, like how I am comparing out time and incrementing my value of ancestor, and this is basically level order traversal. For I is equal to 0, I plus kth node is basically its child, and by maintaining 2 pointer we are assuring that the ancestor is basically kth ancestor of that specific node of I plus kth height, correct? In this way, using 2 pointer, we are calculating it. So this was like very tough. If you could see, like there is much code involved, like DFS store, DFS height. I could also store like DFS height. We could reduce DFS height code for simplicity, but you could see that like it's very complex. Now let's say I will explain you like the easiest code of all of this. Like I will explain it to you. Method 3, in method 3 is basically backtracking. So what does backtracking does is when we push in the vector, let's say there is a code, and uh, let me explain it on Sublime, or just explain it by diagram first. Okay. So let's say currently we are at A and we have a list, and list is basically A. Now when DFS goes to B, list will become A comma B. When DFS goes to D, list will become A comma B comma D. Now let's say when we go out of recursion, we are popping the end item, right? So now list will again become A comma B, and then while here it will become A comma B comma E. Now observe the pattern here. If you could see that every path towards the child or any child is represented is in this vector, correct? So using this property, or this you could say observation, we could calculate directly the answer of the kth ancestor or any ancestor, you could say. Now when this is the end node, this means like we have all the ancestry of this, like B's parent is A, and here we could say that D's parent is B, B's parent is A, and so on. Like it could, list could be like of n size, it don't matter. Okay. Now when we say this, like so we could also say that from end, if we go k size back, k terms back, you could say that like it's the term in the vector is the kth ancestor of the back element. Correct? So if I say current size is size, so size minus array of or list of size minus 1 is basically end node, and its kth ancestor is array of size minus 1 minus k. Correct? This is the node and this is basically its kth ancestor. So this is the most simple approach, and this question could be modified to anything, like it could be like not only k, it could be like any variable ancestor, and you could pre-store all the required stuff, and when you are at that child, like here when end node is basically child, so we could calculate all the answers for this and store that answer, like we are working offline and we could store that answer. So for this question it's very simple, we are just backtracking, and how we are backtracking I will show you. Sublime text, okay. And here is emplace back is basically append or push back in my list, and back my track is name of my list, okay. And when we go out of recursion, what I will do is I will pop back, I will remove that item because that's no longer necessary. Correct? And if size is greater than k basically, so we could say that this code will give you the ancestor, kth ancestor of this particular xth node. Correct? X will be like end node of this list, okay. And you are doing the same recursion, normal recursion, okay. So this is the DFS smart, I forgot to change name here, so okay. So this is the DFS smart code. In this way, in this simple way, you could solve this question, and you should solve this question like this in the interview if asked. This is the method of backtracking. So I will explain what method I show you. So basically first the question was for grandparent, and then it was the follow-up question. Then I showed you like how binary lifting and the n-log k complexity is there, okay. Then Euler tour is basically complex, you better read the blog so you could understand it more. Like on Code Forces there is like Euler tour blog, or you could see any YouTube video for it, so you could understand Euler tour more better. But basically this is what Euler tour looks like, and this is the method of backtracking basically. I will also refer I will also put this code in description if you want. So here, this in this way we could solve this question. That's it, guys. I will try to make all other videos if you want. Like I have many questions like this that are actually asked. If you want, I could make this. So tell me if you want in the Telegram group. Thank you. Cool. Peace out.